Hi everybody, welcome again. I just want to give you a tour of what's going on in the garden. It is the middle of December right now, and we have been really lucky in the Northeast because the weather has been good. It's a little cool today, but it's not too bad. So basically, I am done with my palm structures that I put in for this season. It was a lot of work. I had a lot of new palms. I had a lot of new structures I had to put together. As you can see behind me, they're done. I still have some taping to do and some sealing up, but it's been so warm, I haven't really had to do that. And I've got a number of different methods going on with my heating. They're all based on C9 Christmas lights inside these structures, but I have various ways of monitoring what is going on with the temperature. I have a couple of that are linked by Wi-Fi to an inside temperature gauge where I can look and see what's going on. And then I bought, I'll show you right here, these nice little gauges that have a wire that go into the palm structure, and they tell me what the temperature is on the inside. And right now I have no lights on inside this big gigantic box right here, which is quite tall. And because it's so warm today, it's actually 58 degrees in there, which is a little warmer than I'd like to keep it below 50. So I probably should open up a couple of these today, but that's also work venting it. I do have little holes to vent them, but I try to open it up when I can. So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you a little tour of everything going on in the garden. You can kind of see that it's not the most attractive thing to cover up your palms in the winter, but you're happy in the spring when they all open up. So to just go through the tour, here's some of my clumping bamboo. I have plenty of running bamboo, but this is some of my clumping bamboo that has gotten really big. The funny story about this is they actually have been moved. I got them when I lived in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. They were in the backyard. I sold the house and moved to Pennsylvania, and then after I sold the house, the new owner asked if I wanted the bamboo. Like a year later, I came back, dug them up, put them in the mail, I think it was UPS, and sent them to Pennsylvania, planted them in Pennsylvania. They weren't doing so well there. I moved to the Hudson Valley, New York, brought them with me, and they're really thriving here. And they're about, that one's about maybe a good 8 feet tall right there. So, coming down the walk here, this is one of my Washingtonia robustas in this nice big thing, and it's about 4 by 4 by 8. This is my Robolini palm in here. It is another one. I think it's even, well, it is taller than 8 because I had to add on this bottom section here. Now, I keep a temperature gauge in here that basically keeps it 40 degrees, 45 degrees in there. So that's about where it is. I need to seal it up a little bit. And if you look over here, you can see that I have a light on the outside that kind of lets me know that it is working. When it gets really cold at night, it'll come on and off. Over here, as I just showed you, I've got a temperature gauge coming out so I can read what's going on here. And if you're wondering what's under all these tarps, it's my bananas that are covered in straw. So over here, this is a funny little shed because it basically, I put it together with all the extra pieces I had of insulation, and my Waggy palm is in there. So it's just like, I took all the scraps, threw them together, and it is surviving in there. More bananas, and if you saw in my other videos, these are some of my windmill palms. This is kind of overkill for the Waggy, by the way, but I had extra here. So these are the windmills. They're not covered up quite as much. This is my hardy pomegranate. I can probably get away with that here in zone 6A without covering, but it's so easy to do. There's no Christmas lights on that. I just covered it right up, and easy to do. Here you can see the koi pond. The koi are all inside, which hopefully I'll take a little video of that. You can see my water lilies are all living down at the bottom. Very quiet, the water falls off. This is my canary date palm over here. This is probably its 3rd or 4th year in the ground. It's doing really well. That's not. I have another windmill over here. This was a little tiny windmill last year. It really grew this year. It's gonna outgrow that structure for next year. Here you can see some of my tall running bamboo up against the house, which is really nice to have some greenery in the winter time, and there's some beautiful bamboo there. My Mediterranean fan palm is over here. Here you can see one of the lights is telling me it's on, so that's good. So it is in there. I'm not going to open it up right now. And then over here, this was my big project this year, is my Jebea hybrid that I got really late. I got it in October, and it is in here in the glass. And basically, because it gets so warm in here, I have the lights on the bottom right now, but I can open it up during the day, and I have a temperature sensor in there, and it's actually really nice and warm in here. Just from the glass, and then I close it up at night. I take this big thing here and I close it up on top, and you can see it in here better. Seems like it's doing okay. I'm just, of course, a little worried about it, but I decided to give it some sun. I don't think it maybe will like just being boxed in like the Washingtonias. If anybody has any experience with that, let me know. But for right now, I'm keeping it like this because I think it's just a good idea. And then I'll show you over here. It's just a nice, big, beautiful day here. I'll go down by the pool in just a second and show you what's going on down over there. So walking down the walk, you can see my poor castor beans. The frost got them. You know, they grow so tall in one season, and then I need to cut them back. My hardy orange, some of them over there. Here is my Chinese windmill palm in there. Got some bananas covered up in trash cans with straw. I have straw here with wire around it and a tarp over it. There's a small windmill there. There's a very large windmill over here. Not windmill, sorry. Washingtonia, and that one. And then coming down, I want to get up on the wall here and show. This is my sable palmetto in here, and of course this is the one I was a little worried about, but it seems to be doing okay. And I have glass on 2 sides, so you can see in here, and I turn the lights on at night and keep that warm, so it's so far doing good. I just really want it to leaf out some, and it hasn't really yet. It didn't do that this summer, but it did get stronger, so I'm hoping it's growing roots. So this structure, I have this kind of cheap plexiglass on one side and then a really good one on the other, which I'll show you when I come back around. And hopefully that is doing well. I've got a windmill here. That is my big Washingtonia there. Coming down, that's just an urn covered up there. I have my monkey puzzle here. I put lights on it. If it's really cold, I'll turn the lights on around it. And if it's super cold, if it's dropping way down to like below 10 degrees, I have this little structure here with some frost cloth. I will stick over that just to help it out. But I want to show you the other side of the sable palmetto here. This is the better stuff here, and I probably will do the greenhouse grade on top next year to get it even more light in there, but because this is its first year, that's what I'm doing. And then I can always add, I have insulation that I can actually put over this glass if it gets really cold at night, just to protect it a little bit more, and probably a little overkill. So over here is my jelly palm in there. I checked on it yesterday, it's doing really well. Here's one of my big windmills, and then I have my Washingtonia I grew from seed from 2 years ago, and that one. Yucca rostratas, I don't do anything to them. They're doing really well here. I think being on the hill here along that fence really helps. My figs, I am so behind on that. I'm going to cover them up. I did not cover this one at all last year. It died to the ground and it grew almost 7 feet in one season, and I got a ton of figs off this, and the figs around the flagpole died to the ground, and I think I had more figs this year than I've ever had. Here's another windmill here, really tall. Rose, some bananas that I need to take off the water there. And then in here, I'll show you, I have yet to provide any kind of light on this little date palm I grew from seed, and I've just been covering it up at night. And it's doing okay so far. I know I'm gonna have to add some lights to it. So I'm gonna put this back in there. It's doing pretty well. And then this is an unknown variety of some kind of sable, miniature sable. I forget what I call it. I can't remember what it is. I have never really covered this up except really cold weather. I've never used lights on it. Maybe if I did, it would grow faster. It's been in the ground maybe 3 years now. And here's my original yucca strata. And it's doing pretty well. Sorry for my shadow in there. It's a nice, big, beautiful plant. And there's the figs. Here's another one of my big windmills. Some more bamboo. And then you can see all these structures that are around my poor ugly pool in the summer. In the winter. It's just hard to believe. It's so pretty back here in the summer, but it looks kind of awful right now. But just to give you a view of everything up for my winter collection here. And that's kind of it on everything. So if anybody has any great ideas, I would love to hear what you have to say, and please like and subscribe on this, and I hope everybody's having a great December.